You have questions? America's #1 business coach has answers. It's your Broda from Minnesota. Here's another edition of Ask Clay Anything on the Thrivetime Business Coach Radio Show.
Oh, yes, Thrive Nation. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Ask Me Anything. And on today's show, we're answering a question that was emailed in. And this question is, what is the toughest aspect of business coaching? Well, I'm assuming the person asking this question maybe wants to become a business coach or something, or maybe they're just curious about what we do or how that works. But either way, I'm going to give you the candid, honest, direct feedback that you've come to expect on the show. But, Chuck, what is the problem about me giving direct, honest feedback on this show or just in general?
Well, a lot of people can't handle it, and they don't know what to expect when it does happen, and so sometimes it can feel a little rough, real and raw.
Could you read the notable quotable from Jim Gaffigan, the New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and entrepreneur?
I can. He says, people would never even ask a friend, let alone a stranger, when they plan to get their hair cut for fear of offending.
Okay, so something as little as a haircut.
Yeah,
you wouldn't walk up to someone and go, when are you going to chop that mop?
Hey, what's up with that hair?
Because it could offend somebody, right?
Right.
Lee Cockrell, a former executive vice president of Walt Disney World Resorts, he once wrote, if you're going to be honest, you had better be funny. Chuck, why have you found that to be so true as a business coach?
It's disarming. When you can introduce humor into a situation, it takes people off edge a little bit, and you're able to get away with some things that you maybe weren't able to if you weren't being funny.
So a business coach, what is the goal of a coach? Why do we have a coach? A coach exists to help you grow your business at a much faster rate than you would grow on your own.
Right.
Our entire job is to show you the proven path and to hold you accountable to doing your action items while our team, does our action items.
Exactly.
We work together as a team, so there's things you have to do and then things we have to do. So let me just give you an example of where again, the question is, what is the toughest aspect of business coaching? I would say this, it's providing candid and constructive feedback because people today are so easily offended.
Yeah, whenever we started recording the show, I typed on my notes here something I've heard you say a lot, and what I would say to answer that question is, sometimes you got to slap someone's baby.
Right.
And I hear you say that, and it's exactly what we're talking about. It's a funny, weird, we're actually not slapping babies, but people they put a lot of emotions and time into building a business, and it's like raising a little baby business into a real business, and sometimes you got to slap that baby because they're not doing it right.
Can I provide 3 or 4 examples, Chuck, that are specific examples of baby slapping that ended up being very helpful for the client? Okay, so I was working with a small church years ago, and they were having all sorts of budget problems. And they kept saying they needed to raise more money. And so I'm talking to the pastor, and I said, hey, I just have a question. What is your operating budget? And he told me what the budget was. And I said, okay, so with a budget of that size and only 100 members, where's the money going? And the guy says, what do you mean? I mean, it all goes back to helping out, missions. We got utilities. We got my salary. I said, well, how much do you pay yourself? And this is just a private conversation. He tells me how much. The amount was very reasonable. I think most of the pastors I've ever worked with, they pay themselves, if anything, usually less than they probably should, but they're paying themselves a reasonable amount. And I'm going, there's about $6,000 a month that is disappearing from what you're telling me the costs are and what your costs are. There's $6,000 somewhere disappearing. And he says, well, I don't know, man. We run a tight ship here. And I said, well, yeah, but had you look at the credit card statements? Where's that money going? And we get out the credit card statements. We start looking. We find out that this particular person, he had a member of his family that was spending over $6,000 a month of the church's money on the church's card. And do you know what happened after I helped him discover where the money was going?
What?
I never spoke to him again. He sent me an email and said, moving forward, we just don't think that coaching is right for us. And we just don't appreciate how into our business you're getting. And I trust that our last meeting can be in confidence because of blah, 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 blah. And the only thing was he did not want to get better.
Right.
And somebody told him they should hire a coach, so he did. But he didn't actually want to fix the budget.
Didn't want to solve the problems.
Right. Another example of, again, these tough conversations. I had one client I was working with, this would be about 4 years ago, and Chup, you know that to make ads work, according to Forbes right now, 91% of people now read online reviews before buying something from a company.
9 out of 10. That's crazy.
Are reading reviews. And this guy had been in business for the longest time. And he goes, Clay, I need to get more leads. He's a contractor. And I said, well, here's what we got to do. We got to go out there and get reviews.
Yes.
And he immediately says, I don't understand why as a 50-year-old man, I have to go around groveling around begging for reviews. I've been in this town doing a good job for years. I have worked on the biggest projects. I've worked with this company, that company, this company. Clay, I have been in town for over 20-something years, and I don't understand why I need to grovel and beg for reviews. And I said, can I tell you this? I said, I think it's ridiculous too, but that's what we have to do. And he says, frickin' A, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I will do it. Do they actually work, though? Are you sure? I said, yeah. And so I showed him examples of my own companies, how we got reviews. And he left my office. He was walking out that door looking pissed. And I said, you got to do it, man. Come on, let's do it, brother. You got it. Woo! Well, anyway, he calls me up a little bit before our next meeting and explains to me that he's gotten like 20 Google reviews so far, but that Google's taken away a few of them.
Oh, come on, Google.
And I said, I know you have to get verified reviews, and if Google thinks that a review isn't genuine or isn't credible, they reserve the right to take it away. And he's like, that sucks. Well, anyway, this guy, for about 4 weeks, I mean, he was frustrated. He was trying to get reviews. Well, then, and Chup, and you know this, about what week, usually 8 or 9, somewhere in that range, people who have 2 times as many objective Google reviews as their competition, usually around week 9, can start showing up in Google search results.
Yeah.
And he comes in riding this high. Clay, I got my first deal from Google, baby.
Whoa!
Yeah, and he's like, man, you know what, dude? We only pay you guys $1,500 a month, and this particular deal, I am going to profit like 10 grand, man.
Bam!
You are bringing in more money than I'm paying you, buddy. Woo! Come on, please. He's using all that language like, come on, partner. Woo! Give me a high five, buddy.
My brother from another mother.
You know what I mean, though? They start referring to you like as a partner.
Yeah,
they start to view you as a, oh, man, Clay, we are going to dominate. Oh, we. Anyway, long story short, this relationship continued to be very, very positive for a very, very long time. Then this person married somebody he met like yesterday. You know, out of the bar. He's a divorced dad, and he meets somebody at a bar, and he all of a sudden we have our meeting like we do every week, but all of a sudden she comes into the meeting. And I'm like, hey, what's your name? She goes, I am the co-owner of this business, and I can tell you right now, I have an accounting background and a marketing degree from yada yada, and it just seems like all you're doing is writing words to get to the top of Google, and I have read those articles, and they don't even make sense. And this whole review thing, I mean, you can't ask people for reviews, and I will tell you this, those ads, they're not very effective. What's the click-through rate? And just trying to be like a peacock, just putting out the feathers, just trying to
peacocking.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
And just getting this. Well, anyway, long story short, this guy puts her in charge of the company, and I said, hey, buddy, here's the deal. I've got a lot of clients that want our coaching, and I just cannot work with somebody like that. I don't even need to. I don't need the money. I don't need the headaches. She's not even letting you speak in the meetings. I don't know what's going on. And he's like, well, yeah, and the thing is she's using my credit card for all of her personal expenses. Oh, weird. And I was like, dude, I got to get out of here. So again, what is the toughest aspect of business coaching? It's having candid, constructive conversations with people who largely are easily offended.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to do is help you grow your company and teach you the proven path. Now, I could take time right now, and I'm going to brag on clients. So I think about Rachel and Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine.
Yeah.
Those guys diligently execute and implement the proven systems. And as a coach, I don't want to get into people's family issues. I don't want to get into their family issues. And I love working with them because I don't have to. I don't want to get married to somebody. I don't want to have to deal with your brother-in-law you've got issues with. I don't want to know about family drama. I just want to help you grow your business. That's all I do. I am like a mechanic who builds mufflers. Imagine what it would be like to work at Meineke and to be fixing mufflers all day, selling mufflers, installing mufflers, and then a client, while they're in the waiting room at Meineke, walks into the garage bay and says, hey, by the way, I wanted to divulge this personal secret to you. And they start like, you're going, I don't want to be a psychologist.
Right.
The reason why I have chosen this job to repair mufflers is because I
know mufflers.
I enjoy emotionally connecting with mufflers. I don't want to be a psychologist. And that's what some people are looking for with business coaching, is looking for a psychologist. And I am not a psychologist. I am a business growth guru.
Oh, nice.
All I want to do is to help you win and to grow your company. I do not want anything more than that. And I think that's the toughest part, is I am not anything more than that. I help you grow your company. I don't know what to do with family issues. I don't know what to do with the new girlfriend you married. I don't know what to do when your family member's taking money from the church. I don't know what to do. So this is the most rewarding aspect of business coaching would be working with people like Tip Top Canine. That's awesome. The most rewarding part would be working with guys like Pastor Brian Gibson in Amarillo, Texas. That's awesome. What's the most rewarding thing about my job is working with guys like Clay Stairs, who are super appreciative for what we've been able to do for he and his family. What is super exciting about what we do is working with people like Sierra Pools, who we've been able to help these guys dramatically to grow their pool business. We love those kinds of things. That's what we're all about, is helping you grow. But the toughest part is dealing with the human, emotional, psychological issues.
It's we're focused on we want you to grow, but the hard part is letting you know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue up a testimonial from the guys at Tip Top Canine so you can hear what a healthy business coaching relationship looks like and where it can take you and your family. If you're looking to grow to the next level, if you feel like your life and your business is stuck, you want to go to the next level, just listen to this testimonial from the guys at Tip Top Canine and ask yourself, is this what you have been looking for?
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
Chup, the question was, what's the toughest aspect of business coaching? But I also want to ask the question, what's the most rewarding part of business coaching? And specifically, I'd like for you to share about Kevin Lewis and why Kevin Lewis with Lewis Roofing has been such a win-win dream client, and why, because he is a diligent doer, why you guys have actually become friends and your relationship's grown positively beyond just coaching because of the mutual respect. So just walk us through the relationship with Kevin Lewis.
Yeah, so Kevin is a fun client to coach with. He's a grinder, right? So he'll put in the work, and that was his main issue whenever he hooked up with us at Thrive. He was doing well. The company was making a lot of money, doing a lot of revenue, but he was working 100-plus hours a week, 7 days a week. He had 60, 70 employees all over the 4 or 5 state area. And so what we really focused on for months and months and months was optimizing his schedule, getting him to where he's telling people no, implementing an organization motivational chart so that people know who to talk to and not just him. And through his implementation and diligence, like you said, we've been able to become friends through all of that. And he's an awesome case. He's an awesome client to work with.
And we had the opportunity to interview him recently so he could share about his business coaching experience with you. And so now, without any further ado, let's hear what Kevin Lewis has to say about the win-win coaching relationship with Eric Chupp and how he's been able to double the size of his company while cutting in half the number of working hours he actually puts into the business on a weekly basis.
It's the smartest thing you could ever do. But I always warn people before. I've actually sent people over, but you have to sell out. You have to believe, and when you do, you will see amazing things. It's been a game changer, it really has, and I recommend it to everybody. I mean, everybody needs it. I don't care. I mean, there needs to be an employee coach, to be honest with you. So it's an amazing journey.
Well, Chupp, I'm going to let you have the final word on this, but I will just say we have a coaches meeting every single day with all the business coaches, and that coaches meeting starts typically at 6 a.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's at 6 a.m.
Right.
And on Mondays, it's at 7 a.m.
Correct.
And the purpose of that, Kevin, is to have wins of the week. We start off the meeting by sharing wins. Any client that had a big win, we want to share in their success. The second is if a client is stuck or they're unable to execute or get something done, we want to, as a team, as a family, as a coaching program, to discuss where the client's stuck and figure out the best plan to help them get unstuck. And that's why I'm in each of those meetings. And I also help make all the paths for all the clients. And Eric has had nothing but great things to say about you. And I just want to ask this before I give Eric the final word. Is your wife a fan of Eric? I mean, is your wife happier now? I mean, is he really making your wife crazy now? How are things going now? Is your wife a fan of the coaching program?
She's 100% fan of the coaching program. She worked in the coaching program for about a week until I fired her. I learned real quick that's we're going to keep church and state separated.
Okay,
but
so
that's real. That's real.
That's real talk. We're keeping the church and the family separated, and so with that, but is she happier overall? Like maybe by 1% or?
Oh no, I'd say at least 50%. I mean,
yes, boom, yes. Miss Lewis
no,
is
it's not
happy.
Eric, it's me. Let's
of course,
clarify.
no, yeah,
But yeah.
He's an Adonis.
But long stories, it's just simple things. I'm able to, as she puts it, communicate better now.
Nice,
because I'm not thinking of all this other stuff, and it's good stuff.
Chupp, you have the final word, my friend. Give us a capstone thought about coaching Kevin Lewis and what that experience has been like for you and what makes Kevin so awesome.
Well, Kevin is a proto child, whatever poster child for stoicism. So he's a guy who will come in and say, give me a big win, man. What's going on this last week for you? And he'll say, landed a $2.2 million job. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, it's just another day. And then he'll come in and say, I got a competitor out of state trying to come in and steal my people or whatever. And just another day. So I don't have to worry about, hey, we get lost in the weeds in the coaches meetings. It's all action on, hey, what do we need to do here? Some meetings we call up and he's like, hey, man, I'm rock and rolling. You good? You need anything from me? Nope. You good? Yeah, we're good to go. Some meetings we get into some weeds about expansion.
But you've had
and other
meetings
things.
Where Kevin has had an employee. Yeah, you've had a competitor try to steal your employees.
Oh, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
And I do too every week, right, Kevin? Is there not a burning fire every week?
Oh, every week. Yeah.
But yet Kevin is stoic, so he's able to push through that.
Right. The lows are not low. The highs are not too high. He's just even keel. And so it's very easy to focus on those key performance indicators and actually, just like he said earlier, make sure the business is going in the right direction. And when the business is going in the right direction and you're accomplishing your own goals with your family, it's a fun time. So we have a good time when we meet and we just make sure that things are happening the way they need to happen.
Kevin, for everybody out there who's listening in Green Country that wants to have a roof put on their commercial building or their residential property, how can they get a hold of you? What's your website, and really, why should people call you?
Well, it's lewisroofing.com, and if they want a company that's going to be honest and do a good job, and we're the company to call. I put my family name on the business, not hiding behind some fake name. We are 100% the real deal, not a bunch of sales guys trying to sell a bunch of stuff. We are a roofing company that's all we do is roofing.
And so now, without any further ado, we like to end each and every show with a boom, which stands for big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. Now, without any further ado, here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom.